Best soybean farming practices for maximum farm income. Session 5. That is disease and pest management. Understanding major soybean threats. Soybean diseases and insects represent constant threats capable of reducing yields by 20 to 60% in severe outbreaks. While management costs for fungicides and insecticides add between $30 to $80 per acre, eating into already thin margins, making integrated pest management, combining genetics, cultural practices, scouting, and strategic treatments essential for both yield protection and economic sustainability. Soybean cyst nematode, that is SCN, represent the number one yield limiting factor across U.S. soybean production, present in 70 to 80% of fields and causing yield losses averaging 10 to 30% even without obvious symptoms, costing U.S. farmers over $1 billion annually. SCN has no chemical control requiring genetic resistance through variety selection and crop rotation as only management options. Sudden death syndrome or SDS, white mold, Goya leaf spot, and Asian soybean rust represent major foliar and root diseases requiring fungicide application costing between $25 to $50 per acre in high-risk situations. Soybean aphid, bean leaf beetle, stink bugs, and other insects cause feeding damage and disease transmission requiring insecticide applications costing between $15 to $35 per acre when economic thresholds are exceeded. The integrated approach combines resistant varieties providing genetic protection against SCN, SDS, and other diseases, crop rotation interrupting diseases and pest cycles, cultural practices creating unfavorable conditions for pests, systematic scouting, identifying cultural problems, economic threat, guiding treatment decisions, and strategic pesticide applications only when justified. This integrated approach typically reduces pesticide costs by 40 to 60% compared to calendar-based prophylactic programs while providing superior protection through prevention rather than reaction. Implementing effective IPM programs. Foundation, variety resistance and rotation. Plant SCN resistant varieties in all fields, testing positive for SCN. Test soil every 3 to 4 years to monitor population. Rotate resistant sources like PI 88788 and pecking are two major resistant sources. Alternate between them every 3 to 4 years, preventing nematode population adaptation, and practice crop rotation with non-host crops like corn, small grains, and others, reducing SCN populations by 50 to 70% during non-soybean years. Select varieties with SDS tolerance, white mold tolerance, and resistance to other prevalent diseases in your region. This genetic foundation provides first-line defense, preventing disease establishment. Scout systematically rather than spraying preventively. Walk fields weekly during vegetative growth and twice weekly during reproductive growth, examining 20 to 30 plants distributed across field. And count pest insects comparing to established economic thresholds. Soybean aphid aphid treatment justified when populations exceed 250 aphids per plant, with the populations increasing. Sting bug treatment justified when populations exceed between 5 to 10 per 25 sweeps during pod fill. Examine leaves for disease symptoms and record observations tracking pest population trends. This systematic monitoring ensures the treatment occurs only when economically justified. Many fields never exceed economic thresholds, requiring no insecticide applications. Strategic fungicide applications in high disease risk situations. Apply foliar fungicides at R3 to R5 growth stage. Beginning pod through beginning seed fill. When disease pressure is high, based on scouting or regional disease forecasts, focusing on fields with history of white molds, SDS, or for gay leaf spot, using products with documented efficacy against target diseases. Not all fungicides control all diseases, and recognizing that fungicide applications cost between $25 to $50 per acre, so must provide between $25 to $50 acres to $50 in yield protection to break even. In low disease risk years of fields, fungicide applications often fail to provide economic return. Systematic evaluation of disease risk prevents wasteful applications in that matter. Seed treatment integration. Utilize fungicide and insecticide seed treatment, providing early season protection against seedling diseases. Python or Phytophthora, Rhizoctonia, and insect pests. Seed corn maggot, and wireworms, costing between $5 to $12 per acre, but providing reliable protection during vulnerable establishment period. Seed treatments represent cost-effective insurance, particularly for early planting into cool, wet soils where seedling disease pressure is highest. Our next discussion is on best soybean farming practices for maximum farm income, session 6.